శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. హరి ఓం. జై మీనాటు. Pranams to Pujya Guruji, Acharya Sri NV Raghavacharya Garu. Respected dignitaries, astrologers, research scholars and beloved viewers on our Meenatu online YouTube channel. Namaskar, good evening. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you for the second annual celebrations of JYSA and Astro e-seminar on Professional Challenges Astro Solutions this evening and tomorrow morning. We have just had the invocation and Guru Prarthana by Srimati Karanam Madhulata and the traditional lighting of the lamp to inaugurate today's proceedings by Professor NVRA Raja, Founder Chairman JKRARF Astro Research Foundation and International Vice Chancellor Yoga SAMSKRUTHAM University, USA. JYSA is JKRARF Astro Research Foundation and Yoga SAMSKRUTHAM University Research Scholars Association. It is a unique syndicate with a vision to promote the study of Jyotisha globally, to enable scholars to continue learning new and advanced concepts, to enhance knowledge and present their findings. I request Professor B. Haimavati, Secretary JYSA and Head of the Department Vedanga Jyotisha, to present her annual report.
Om Shri Sai Ram, Om Shri Veera Raghavaya Namaha. My humble pranams to Puja Guruji Shri NV Raghavacharya Garu and my Guruji Dr. NVRA Raja Garu. On this very happy occasion of celebrations of second year JYSA, JKRARF Yoga SAMSKRUTHAM University Research Scholars Association, our hearty welcome to Dr. BVK Shastri Garu, Chancellor of YSAM, Dr. Prabhakar K. Kashyap Garu, CEO of YSAM, our JKRARF Foundation Principal, Professor T.K. Raghunathan Garu, and prominent speakers of the occasion, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Garu, Professor R. Satyasri Garu, Dr. H.N. Prasad Shastri Garu, Sri G.D. Dayal Garu, Professor C. Sambashivarao Garu, and all the JKRARF Astro Research Foundation students and Ph.D. scholars and also Meenatu online viewers and astrology lovers and enthusiasts. I also overwhelmed to welcome all the scholars contributed for MA Vedanga Jyotisha course of JKRARF YSAM distance education of 2 years course. At the outset, I would like to state here that on this happy occasion of celebrating our JYSA second year, our progress from the beginning is phenomenal. We had conducted 7 Astro talks during the year virtually, and our JSA members like Professor Hemalata, Professor Katyayani, Dr. Muralidhar Patnaik, Dr. K. Sharada Devi, Dr. Chandralekha, Dr. Sirisha, Dr. Raghunath, Dr. Vanishri, Dr. Priyadarshini, Dr. Udayashri, and Dr. Govindaraju, and occasionally some special talks by our Professor NVRA Raja. The monthly Astro Talks of JSA members are planned on every 4th Saturday of the month, and that it is being live telecasted in Meenatu online. All the above speakers giving their best of research points to astro lovers. As you all know, JYSA started to promote and bring all Ph.D. scholars of JKRARF into prominence in the international level and show to the world that astrology is a great Shastra which can help people in large and also solve many of personal and professional issues. We all know astrologer is a great counselor and bring peace of mind to disturbed mind. Our JYSA's aim to create well-learned and sattvic astrologer who can guide humanity. Under the guidance of Professor NVRA Raja, JKR Astro Research Foundation is running classes with well-supported faculties like Professor T.K. Raghunathan, Dr. Shiv Sharma, Professor Muralidhar Patnaik, Sri J. Somanath Shastri, Professor K.V. Sharvan Kumar, Dr. Hemalata A. Krishnan, Professor R. Katyayani, Professor Haimavati, Professor Sharada Devi, Professor Satyashri Raja, and Dr. Chandralekha. Now more than 400 students are learning Meenatu Naadi Astrology online on every Sunday virtually. This speaks of our dedication towards Guruji Sri N.V. Raghavachari Meenatu and towards on Jyotisha. With the blessings of Guruji, we are sure that JKR will become stronger and spread throughout the world in teaching Jyotisha and Yoga. All JSA scholars are regularly contributing to our e-magazine Light of Naadi Astrology, and by this way that all our PhD scholars are in regular touch with subject and also expressing their views on Jyotisha to the world. We are planning this e-magazine on monthly basis. Third issue of e-magazine will be released on 12th September 2021. Today's theme created by JYSA is Professional Challenges and Astro Solutions, a great topic, and also this is the exact problem all the working class and businessmen are facing due to COVID pandemic. I trust you will get excellent points how to overcome the stress in professional areas with today and tomorrow talks from prominent persons. I also express my sincere thanks to colleagues, Chairman Professor T.K. Raghunathan, Professor K.V. Sharvan Kumar, and other JSA members for making these celebrations happen nicely, and members of JSA happen nicely. I trust with the blessings of Guruji, we will have our third year celebration offline with more members participating. On behalf of JYSA, JKR, I personally thank for choosing this JYSA platform in releasing MA Vedanta Jyotisha of JKRARF 2-year course textbooks. Once again, I welcome you all for JYSA's second year celebrations and request you to encourage our JYSA platform and all speakers. Thank you. Jai Meenatu.
Thank you, Professor Haimavati. We now have Anugraha Bhashanam by Dr. B.V.K. Shastri Garu, Chancellor, Yoga Samskrutham University, Florida, USA.
Namaste. Congratulations to JYSA, JKR Yoga Samskrutham University Research Scholars Association on the occasion of second annual celebrations and Astro e-seminar on professional challenges, Astro solutions. A very relevant solution for the current period when the world is affected by the corona pandemonium. I am happy to note Dr. Raja has taken all the initiative to keep all the scholars in the postdoctoral research mode, a continuing Jignasa, Samshodhana and Viniyoga of the knowledge they have acquired through their studies and practice. I congratulate the other team members, my good friend and the Chief of Indian Forum of YSAM, Dr. Prabhakar Kashyap, who is presenting a paper on role of Panchabhutas in profession. Then we have got Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, who is bringing bureaucrats' jobs through Jiva and Sharira concept, and Dr. Raja himself presenting professions linking with mundane astrology. So we have Senior Counsel Professor Samba Shivarao, who is going to talk about professional development. Keeping these things in view, I have made a small deliberation addressing the theme Vedanga Jyotisha research is consciousness research for health and total wellness of individuals in professions. Family life is as much a profession as working for earning. This is Bhukti and Mukti together. I hope the deliberations will find very meaningful pointers for the practicing professionals. Once again, I congratulate and adore the great effort of Dr. Raja, guided by Guruji and all the team members. Thank you, and let the proceedings go to their heights. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your gracious blessings. I now request Dr. Kashyap Prabhakar, CEO, Yoga Samskrutham University, to give his blessings.
Good morning to all. Today, the JYSA is entering its second year. On this great occasion, I wish the people connected with JYSA and also the main pillar behind this organization is Dr. NVRA Raja. So on this today and tomorrow, that is September 4th and 5th, they are organizing a 2 days e-seminar in Vedanga Jyotisha. The title of the subject is connected with the profession they are organizing. So in COVID present situation, so most of the companies they have closed and thousands of employees are in dark. So by keeping this mind, so Dr. Raja is really doing a very good job, and he has organized these 2 day seminars and how to analyze profession in various techniques. And these 2 days many scholars are going to present their paper connected with the profession. So by listening to this program or by seeing this program, so I definitely one can find better solutions how to promote themselves to a professional heights. So JYSA is really doing good from last year, and now it is entering second year. So in the second year also, I wish let all the research scholars present their papers every month. And this JYSA is the brainchild of this Dr. NVRA Raja. So NVRA Raja is a highly active person, and he is encouraging all the interested students, and he is encouraging many scholars to perform their skills in the Vedanga Jyotisha. So actually in today's very difficult to create a stage. So Dr. Raja has created JKR Astro Research Foundation, and with this banner, and he is teaching thousands of students every all these years, and JKR is also celebrating its 10th year in this year. So in the meantime, this JYSA is also entering to a second year. So this is really a good symptom, and this it reflects really how this Raja sir is working in Hyderabad and Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So I wish a great success for JYSA in coming years. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Vedanga Jyotisha is Jyoti Yoga Vijnanam, the divine science of the lights of the cosmos, to see through the wheel of time into the past and future, to enable more and more seekers worldwide to acquire knowledge and spread the divine Shastra. Yoga SAMSKRUTHAM University is offering MA Vedanga Jyotisha 2-year distance course to be administered by JKR Astro Research Foundation. This is a well-defined and structured program, duly supplemented with study material and contact classes. We are very happy and pleased to release the first 6 textbooks, the comprehensive study material for MA Vedanga Jyotisha first year, which has been scrupulously compiled by a panel of expert astrologers. We have with us Professor NVRA Raja, International Vice Chancellor JYSA, Professor B. Haimavati, H.O.D. Vedanga Jyotisha, Sri J. Somanatha Shastri, MA Course Correspondent, Professor K.V. Sarvana Kumar, MA Course Coordinator, and the entire eminent astrologers of the syllabus committee. Over to Professor Raja, sir.
यस्यास्भवद्भक्तजनार्तिहन्तु पितृन्द्वमे विचार्य तूर्णं स्तम्भे स्वदारक्षमणन्तलभ्यं लक्ष्मीनरसिंहं शरणं प्रपद्ये उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहम्. Om Shri Veera Raghavaya Namaha. Pranam to Guruji and my father Raghavacharya Garu. Pranam to my Guruji St. P.V.K. Punyeshwara Garu. And my respects, my blessings to everyone, those who are watching this program live. I welcome you all for this wonderful session of JYSA's second year annual celebrations. I am very happy to welcome Dr. B.V.K. Shastri Garu, who is there and watching this program, the Chancellor of JYSA. The today's program and release of MA Astrology 2 years distance mode is because of Shastri Garu. Thank you very much, Shastri Garu, for giving us the JYSA mandate and affiliation. And also, I heartily welcome our friend, CEO of Yoga SAMSKRUTHAM University, Prabhakar K. Kashyap Garu, who is also watching. And after visiting Mysore, he has come there for exclusively for this program, and he has also given the blessings message. Thank you very much. I also welcome Dr. R. Vijayalakshmi, the Director of Yoga SAMSKRUTHAM University. She is also watching this program. Thank you very much. And rest all head of the departments, controller of examinations of Vedanga Jyotisha and Yoga and other branches of JYSA. I welcome you all for this a wonderful session of JYSA's second year annual celebration. The theme, Professional Challenges and Astro Solutions, is coined by none other than the Secretary of JYSA, Haimavati. Even last year also she has coined a wonderful theme, and this year also she has coined a beautiful theme. I trust after the 9 talks, I'm sure you all people will get a wonderful message on professions and also how to overcome the professional challenges. Today, along with me, my colleague Sri J. Somanath Sastri Garu is there with me. About 5-6 months back, in one of our conferences, we have made our J. Sastri Garu as a correspondent for this 2 years MA Vedanga Jyotisha of JKRARF and also our Saravanan as a coordinator. The result of is today, more than 100 MA students have joined in English and Telugu medium. The result of this, along with me, the great scholars are present. On this occasion, I would like to honor them also for a wonderful compiling the study material for the MA courses. Yeah, beautifully, I am telling you, it is all the books, today they are going to release the book. Very happy occasion, I am telling you. The more than, put together more than 1,000 pages have come a study material exclusively for JKRARF MA 2 years course. It has come in English. After my talk, Sri Somanath Sastri Garu will address all our students and those who are watching here for this program. And it's a great effort by all the 21 scholars. The 21 scholars, they have come, they have, came forward, and we have made a committee, compilation committee we made. In that, your book has come so nicely. I trust everyone, those students will definitely relish reading this book. And I request this book, if it is opened by the scholars, those who have written, I'll be very happy. I request J. Somanath Sastri Garu to open the paper number 1, which has come 400 pages, where we made it as 2 parts. I request our Somanath Sastri Garu and and Balaji Garu join cheyandi. You both. Meer open cheyandi, sir. You open the book. Thank you very much, sir. This is the part 1. Book is getting released. Some picture. Paper 2. Paper 2 open cheyandi, sir. Paper 3 and 4 have come. Thank you, ma'am. Please. Professor Katyayani Garu, Dr. Chandralekha, they all contributed excellent lesson. Paper 4. Come back. You go to Chandra. Just come. Yes. Open cheyandi, para. Professor Hemavati, H.O.D. of Vedanga Jyotisha, and Professor Sarada is a joint treasurer of JYSA. Excellent. Nicely they have contributed beautiful lessons on Meena 2, Naadi, and also Prashna Shastra. Thank you very much, madam. Next. Thank you. Paper 5, that's also came more than 500 pages. Very big, what you called, on medical astrology, part 2. Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Hemlata madam and Dr. Govind Raj Garu. Thank you, sir. Please, you also come, sir. Since you have come, good. the paper 5 part B. Professor Patnaik sir, Dr. Shiv Sharma sir, and also Gopala Krishna Garu. They are Pamina to Naadi on that. Gopala Krishna sir as Arvind has given on mundane astrology. Excellent articles, yes, syllabus compilation they have done. And I welcome you all for this wonderful program we lined up. I just hand over my mic to our correspondent of MA, Naadi Jyothisa, J. Somnath Sastri Garu, that all the people just to have the book and show, no, please. Let's show the books, please. Just show the book now. Just show it up little. Face close. Okay, and Shiv Sharma garu close karan. Happy occasion. Nicely the book has come of MA. I trust Sastri garu and Prof will be very happy. We will be sending shortly these books also. I request JKRARF MA Vedanga Jyothisa Distance Education Correspondent Day Somnath Sastri Garu. Yes, put lot of effort in making the tabulating all the syllabus, what topic has to be written and everything is compiled and brought it into a printing mode. Let us give a big applause for Sastri Garu, and I request him to give you a message on this very happy occasion.
Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sabhaye Namaha. The great audience of JYSA second annual celebrations meeting today. My pranams to everybody. At JKR Astro Research Foundation, we are extremely happy to mark our contribution to the world of astrology, Vedanga Jyotisha. I am sure this study material which we have released today is going to remain a very good input to the students whosoever read any subject of astrology and Vedanga Jyotisha. We all know when particularly in summer season, we go to a sugarcane juice vendor, and we take the juice. The sugarcane juice maker takes many sugarcanes, puts in the machine and gives us the juice. Writing study notes to astrology is very similar. Astrology books, there are umpteen books, but all at one place is very difficult. Two universities which had these courses brought out the books, and the third university is Yoga SAMSKRUTHAM University, which has brought these books. It covers entire astrology horizon. We cannot say that everything is going to be given in every book, but the introduction is definitely there. A reader of this book will always keep it as a number one copy in the library, whatever the astrologer's library is there. I thank all the committee members who have written, basically compiled the information, and it could be brought to one book. We have totally 6 books, and for the 5 papers, 1A and 1B is for first paper, 2 and 3 one second book, that is for paper 2 and paper 3. Then paper 4 is one book. Paper 5 again, medical astrology 1 book, mundane astrology 1 book. So very comprehensively we have tried to give everything in these books to the students, and any others, they can just read them and enjoy the science of lights, that is astrology, Vedanga Jyotisha. We thank everybody. We thank the students who have taken the admission, to whom these books will be dispatched just in 2-3 days time or maximum 1 week time, because we have to bind them and everything is getting prepared. And after that, we are very happy to say that we will be starting the online contact classes. Online contact classes will be in a unique form. We are making it in YouTube recordings so that the student can listen them at his convenience with concentration and devotion. After the contact classes periods are over, that is, we will stipulate some time schedule to listen the recordings. After that, we will have 2 sessions of interaction, live sessions with the students. There we will be clarifying all the doubts to the students. And after that, we will be giving the examination, and all the students will have to take it. Students need not worry about any problem or any difficulty. They have a lot of books. In fact, today I shared 48 books in the Google Drive. You can share all soft copies. You can keep in your library. You can refer them. All classics are there. All modern authors' books are there. And we are sending the ID card of all the students along with this study material, a beautifully designed ID card, and the layout, everything is with the taste of our Raja sir only, and then with the devotion of the printer, Shashi, because he has put his heart in this. He has put his heart and both the hands, even though one hand is fractured, in the compilation of all the books and making it is a printable way in a record time. So we thank you all for being with us, and please enjoy, and let your friends also tell them to enjoy the learning of astrology through JKR Astro Research Foundation from the MA Vedanga Jyotisha course of 2 years. First year it is there now, second year material also will come. After that, next batch also will be coming. So please, all elders, all august audience, please bless this occasion so that this MA, not only MA Vedanga Jyotisha, Jyotisha itself will have to be spread, because this is the need of the hour. Many Indian universities, they are not offering, they are gradually taking back the courses. But a day has to come where every individual in the society should understand astrology. Then every society will become very peaceful and prosperous society. Thank you very much. I thank my Guruji, Dr. Raja sir, and he's along with his wife now. So both Dampatulu are there. So we thank everybody, them, for guiding us and taking this JKR Astro Research Foundation to the new heights. Thank you all once again. Thank you.
So on this occasion, this JYSA membership card also, show JYSA membership card also, it will be those who have registered. I wish all the Ph.D. students, those who have already completed and they are studying, please be in touch with Mr. Kishore and give your application, join as a JYSA member. This is a card also today we have launched. Will we be proud after your PhD put M JYSA, member of JYSA. Put that, that's also one of the title what you can have it. So please be in touch, those who are studying now, this batch 21-23, 18-20, 2022 batches, 19-21, all the please be in touch with our Kishore ji and then give your application and become a member of JYSA. And I hand over the mic to Hemlata madam for a small token of respect and honor to all the authors, those who have contributed in compiling the subject. As Sri Sastri Garu was telling, the syllabus, the material, the book which is going to ever live in the world as long as Surya and Chandra, Nakshatras are there.
Indeed, this is a memorable occasion for every one of us, a landmark occasion. On this auspicious occasion, we wish to honor the Distance Education Syllabus Committee members for their contribution as a token of appreciation. Professor Raja to do the honors.
This honor is for the astrology.
Sri J. Somanatha Shastri, MA course correspondent. Professor B. Haimavati, Secretary JYSA and Head of the Department Vedanga Jyotisha. Professor K.V. I am Dr. Hemalata. Thank you. Professor K.V. Sarvanakumar, MA course coordinator. Professor Ramanujan Katyayani Devi. Professor K. Muralidhar Patnaik. The lyrics for the invocation and the Guru Prarthana have been written by Madam Karnal Madhulata, wife of Professor Muralidhar Patnaik. And the lyrics have been written by himself. He has put his heart and soul. Professor K. Sharada Devi. Along with Sri Suresh. They are the creators of our Meena 2 software. Dr. Balaji, Dr. S. Balaji. Dr. K. Govindaraju. Dr. Nakshatras. Dr. Chandralekha. Sri M.L. Arvind Swami. Dr. Gopalakrishna. Dr. P. Sivasharma. Dr. Ramakrishna Shastri, there are a few others who could not make it today. We are very thankful to them. We have Dr. T. Srikanth. Thank you very much, sir, for doing the honors. I now request Professor P.K. Raghunathan, Chairman JYSA. I now request Professor P.K. Raghunathan, Chairman JYSA, to give his message.
A very good evening to all the members of JYSA Forum. We are in the middle of celebrating the second year of the formation of JYSA Forum. The celebrations are being carried on over 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, today and tomorrow. So as an organizing committee member, I have pleasure in inviting our distinguished guests from Yoga Samskrutham University, Dr. B.V.K. Shastri, Chancellor, Dr. Kashyap Prabhakar, the CEO, and Dr. NVRA Raja, the Vice Chancellor and Chairman of JKRARF Astro Research Foundation. My hearty welcome to other guests and members of our Delhi chapter. We are in the midst of a festival season with festivals like Gokulashtami, Ganesh Chaturthi, Navaratri and Deepavali coming one after another in quick succession in the days ahead of us. So, season's greetings and best wishes for a happy festival season is to you all. As a part of this celebration, we have organized a number of lectures and presentations on astrology-related topics. I am going to talk about astrology and Sanatana Dharma. I hope that at the end of my talk, you all will keep your faith in astrology and Sanatana Dharma undiminished in spite of my talk. That's an awesome way to start a talk. Now let us start with the definition. What do the words astrology and Sanatana Dharma mean to us? Astrology, as you all know, is said to be a Vedanga. It is a part of Vedas. In fact, astrology is said to be the eyes of Vedas. As you all know, eyes are the very important organs of our body through which the knowledge enters our brain. So when we talk about astrology, we talk about knowledge available from the study of astrology and practice of astrology. About Sanatana Dharma, what I have to say, the word Sanatan means, as per dictionary, something that is permanent, that is perpetual, that is fixed, that is formed, that is settled. So when you look at these meanings, you will realize that our Sanatana Dharma is firm and well settled. There is nothing ambiguous about our Sanatana Dharma. Now, both astrology and Sanatana Dharma derive inspiration from Vedas. So first of all, let us ask ourselves a question as to what are Vedas. Vedas have been defined as the source of knowledge. Now, this knowledge is not given to us by any one particular Rishi or a set of Rishis. When we talk about an epic like Ramayana, we can quickly say that Ramayana was written by sage Valmiki. Similarly, when we talk about Mahabharata, we quickly say that it is written by sage Vyasa. Can we say the same thing about Vedas? No, we cannot say, because we cannot give credit to any particular individual for the Vedas that we have with us. It is the collective contribution of many rishis, munis, visionaries and scholars. Vedas are also said to be a revealed knowledge. Revealed by whom? It is said Vedas have divine association because they are revealed to the sages and munis and ancient ascetics by none other than our Creator, whom we refer to as God. When we say that Vedas are the source of knowledge, how far is it true? It's a question that all the rationalists seem to be asking in every forum. I would like to explain this taking an example from a set of slokas called Mantra Pushpam. You all must have heard Mantra Pushpam being chanted or recited by a set of priests after the conclusion of a Mahapuja or a big yajna. Many of you may be knowing this set of slokas by heart. Anyway, I will quote a couple of lines from the sloka. Yopam pushpam veda pushpavan prajavan pashuvan bhavati. Chandramava apam pushpam pushpavan prajavan pashuvan bhavati. Ya edam veda. Yopa ayatanam veda ayatanam bhavati. Now, in this sloka goes on and on like that. And then, in every sloka, you have two words which we have to note, make special note of. One word is ayatanam. What is the meaning of word ayatanam? The meaning of the word ayatanam is house or a base. So, this is very important meaning we should keep in mind all the time. When we say ayatanam veda, it means get to know your base. Now, in this set of slokas, reference is made to different elements, like starting with pushpam, water, agni, vayu, sun, moon, stars, rains, time, and back to water. That means when we look at these elements, we know these elements have combined at some point of time for the creation of this universe and the various life forms that exist in this universe. That life form include us human beings also. So when we realize that the elements like water is the basis for our life, we get to understand the importance of these elements. Now, water comes in contact with Agni or heat, gets converted into clouds, and because of wind, Vayu, this cloud moves about, gets cooled, and falls back on earth as rain. So, water to water is a cycle that this sloka is talking about. When the water falls back on earth, it is falling on all the fields where the crops are grown, and from the crops we get our food. That means the element like water is able to sustain what is created by the elements. That means these elements are capable of sustaining life also. When we say water to water cycle, we are talking about water being the dominant element operating on this life. That means this water is referred to as a big water body called Arnavam. So life is all about water and it is called Arnavam. The moment you are in the Arnavam or a big water body, ocean, then how do you get across life? You need to swim through the water. But it extends so far and wide that it is very difficult to swim through life on one's own capacity. So we need a boat and a boatman to ferry us across this ocean or Arnavam. So the very elements that combine together to give rise to the creation of universe also talks to you about a boat and boatman. This boat and boatman is what we call as God who helps us through the life. So, a simple sloka taken from Vedas, this particular mantra pushpam sloka has been taken from Ayurveda. This simple sloka is able to tell us or give us knowledge about what the elements do, how they combine to form a created universe and how they sustain life on this universe. That means it is proved that Vedas or a sloka from Vedas is capable of giving you some knowledge. Like that, the Vedas are full of thousands of such slokas, and every sloka has got a message, a knowledge package to be given to you, to be understood by you, and it also talks about the Creator. So when we talk about Vedas, we are not only talking about knowledge, but also the God or the divine agencies that created this universe and the life forms as we know it. Now, having said that Vedas are said to be a source of knowledge, let me be honest about one thing. I, as an individual, as T.K. Raghunathan, know very little about Vedas. I don't know Sanskrit also. The Vedas are said to be in Sanskrit language. When I don't know a language, how do I make meaning out of the contents of Vedas? Similarly, people say that there are Vedangas like Shiksha, Nirukta and Vyakarana, etc., which are supposed to help a person to understand Vedas. But they are also in Sanskrit. So when I say I don't know Sanskrit, how can I use these Vedangas to understand Vedas better? So, as far as I am concerned, Vedas have no meaning for me. Interestingly, the scriptures are talking about several dialogues between individuals, Vedic scholars, about the meaningfulness of Vedas or absurdities in Vedas. Now there's an interesting dialogue between two scholars by name Kautsa and Yaska. Kautsa by virtue of his immense knowledge about Vedas, he is criticizing Vedas. He is ridiculing all the people who have faith in Vedas. He is telling Vedas are meaningless. Why you ask? He tells, look here, there is one portion of Vedas where it is said Vishnu has got 2 eyes. In another portion, in the same Vedas, it is mentioned he has got 1,000 eyes. They are not able to make up whether it is 2 eyes or 1,000 eyes. Similarly, they talk about Rudra. They say there is only one Rudra, there is no second to him. And in another place, they talk about 11 Rudras. Similarly, about Adityas also, in one place, he said Aditya has got a son called Aditya. In another place, he has got several sons going by the name of Aditya. Thus, the Vedas have no meaning. He also tells in another section of Vedas, Indra is said to be a Devata. He and Agni and Vayu and all those things are Devatas to be worshipped. In another place, they say Indra is a drunkard. So how can a drunkard be worshipped as a Devata? So he concludes that Vedas are useless. They have no meaning. They are absurd. Yaska, another Vedic scholar, confronts Kautsa by systematic common sense and logic. He gives counter-argument to put Kautsa in his place and establish that Vedas are indeed meaningful and they contain knowledge. Now, look at me. Whose side I should be with my lack of knowledge about Vedas, about lack of knowledge about Sanskrit? I should be on the side of Kautsa, saying that Vedas are meaningful. I made the statement earlier before that as far as I am concerned, Vedas have no meaning for me. But I am not on the side of Kautsa, but I am on the side of Yaska. How come, you may ask? Because now, though I personally don't have any knowledge of Vedas, I know Dr. B.B.K. Shastri. He knows all about Vedas. I know Dr. NVRA Raja. He knows all about Vedas. In fact, he has got a degree in religion. So you must know about Vedas. I know these 2 gentlemen. They are honorable men. They know Vedas. They feel Vedas are meaningful. I go by them. I say, because these 2 gentlemen or many others like that know Vedas and believe in Vedas, I also don't mind saying that I also have faith in Vedas. So somebody else's faith becomes my faith. It is a transferred faith. Moreover, when these very gentlemen are coming forward to teach me astrology, to teach me Sanskritam and all that, in the way that I find it easy, they give me books which written in my language, which I can read and understand. My faith in Vedas, my faith in astrology, and my faith in Sanatana Dharma also get enhanced. So, the purpose of Vedas is to provide knowledge. This is the basic principle or basic tenet on which both astrology and Sanatana Dharma rest. Now, let me go little ahead on astrology and Sanatana Dharma. What is the meaning of Sanatana Dharma? I have already told you. It is formed and established and there is no ambiguity about it. Now, I said that Vedas is said to have been contributed by many rishis and munis and scholars. In the same way, Sanatana Dharma also is a collection of ideas given by many munis and rishis. There is not a single individual who has contributed to Sanatana Dharma. There is no single book which guides you about Sanatana Dharma. This is the speciality of Sanatana Dharma. When you compare this with what is happening in Christianity or Islam, you know that those religions are the opinion of one single individual by the name of Jesus Christ or Muhammad Nabi or whatever you call it. And the books go by the names of Bible or Quran. There is no single book in this particular. Second thing about Sanatana Dharma is that it meets the requirements of different types of people. I believe in Ramanuja. I am a Sri Vaishnava. Another person is a unbeliever in Shankaracharya. Third person about Madhvacharya. Fourth person talks about Ambedkar. Fifth person talks about Buddha. So the world is made up of different type of people with different types of likes and dislikes and tastes and ruchis. And then a sub-dharma has to be meeting the requirements, each and every one of us. This cannot be done by religion like by Christianity or Islam. Only Sanatana Dharma made this particular requirement. In the same way, astrology is also not a contribution of a single individual. We are talking about great rishis like Parashara, Germany, Satyacharya, Parahamira, and even our own Raghavacharya and Dr. Raja. They all have given us something called astrology. Whether I accept Parashara's method or Jamani's method or KP's method or Raja's method, it is up to me. It is my choice. It is my conviction that decides. This particular freedom is available both in Sanatana Dharma as well as astrology. Next point about Sanatana Dharma and astrology is that once we are born on this universe, we are duty bound to elevate ourselves. For such elevation of our status, mental status, physical status, economical status, we have defined number of objectives which we call as purusharthas. They are defined as dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So it is the duty of every individual to be able to elevate himself in this particular progression of arthas, four arthas. Now, for this we have to act. Now, our actions are classified into two types of actions. One action is called Papa Karya and another one is called Punya Karya. Now, the word Papa has got equivalent in other languages. For example, the word sin in English language is equal to Papa. Now, can you tell me a word equivalent to Punya? This word Punya is available only in our Sanatana Dharma, only in Indian languages only. There is no word for Punya in other languages. You can check this out. So, when there is no word for Punya, can there be any actions for Punya that will earn you Punya? So, our basic Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, is all about doing Punya and doing good to others, because we derive Punya only when our actions are not only improving our lot, but they also go to the improvement of people around us. That is, Okahitam is one of the main criteria for deciding our quality of our actions, which we call as Punyakari. Now, astrology also takes the same route. It also identifies from the basic birth chart how a person is oriented towards Punya Karma or Papa Karma. With this knowledge, we are able to advise the individual concerned on how he should change his mental makeup and the knowledge base so that he becomes a better person and contributes better for the society he lives in. Now, third one I want to tell is our Sanatana Dharma says, Satyam Vada, speak the truth. Sanatana Dharma is the only Dharma which defines truth and also qualifies truth. How, you may ask? I would like to give an example to say how our Dharma defines and qualifies truth. Supposing you are standing outside your house with the door open behind you. You are watching what is happening on the road. Suddenly, you see one young lady being chased by half a dozen hooligans. And that lady, while she is running scared away from those hooligans, sees an open door behind you. She rushes in and hides herself in one of the rooms in your house. At that time, the hooligans stop in front of your house and ask you whether you have seen the girl. Now, what is your answer going to be? Are you going to speak like Harichandra, the truth? Yes, that girl is here, and then open that girl out to maltreatment by the hooligans? So, there is a situation where truth cannot be spoken. This definition and qualification of truth is only available in Sanatana Dharma. It is not available anywhere else. So, our Sanatana Dharma gives a special treatment to truth. In the same way, in astrology also, we are supposed to handle truth very, very carefully. When we find that in a particular Jatakam brought by one native, you find certain things totally alarming. Are you going to tell the truth to that person and smash his self-confidence? No, we are not supposed to do that. We are supposed to educate that person in a nice way so that his confidence is built up and his ability to face up to the situation is enhanced. That is the objective of astrology. Astrology and Sanatana Dharma go hand in hand. Next, what I have to say. We started off with the example of Mantra Pushpam, wherein we said the realization that the elements are the basis of our life, our existence, improves our ability, our knowledge, and in the process it is able to help us to elevate ourselves. Now, this particular thing is applicable in our astrology also. The knowledge that we have derived from our teachers like Raja and other people is supposed to help us in doing good for others and in the process elevate ourselves and also the people around us. Thus, I can keep on talking about various facets of Sanatana Dharma and how they go in hand with astrology also. Suffice it to say that astrology is a source of knowledge, and acquiring this knowledge and putting it in practice for Lokahitam will do the world of good, not only for the individual concern, but also. So, I conclude my talk by reciting 2 lines from another Sanskrit poem. Manasa satatam smaraniyam lokahitam mama karaniyam. Sahasa satatam smaraniyam lokahitam mama karaniyam. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Astro lovers, eagerly look forward for the Astro seminars conducted by JKRARF Astro Research Foundation, which are generally rich in content and knowledge, a byproduct of continuous learning, research and development. The first anniversary of JYSA was conducted with a great aplomb. We had an e-seminar with the theme Self-Management, very relevant during the pandemic, which received rave reviews. Today, for the second anniversary, we are here with yet another relevant theme, Professional Challenges, Astro Solutions. The first presentation is by Professor Satyasri Raja, granddaughter of Puja Guruji. She is a faculty at the JKRARF Astro Research Foundation with a thorough and in-depth knowledge and grip on Neenatu Nakshatra Siddhantham. She is the author of the book Nakshatra Digbala and Gunas. She is based at Chennai. Today she is going to talk about the role of Surya Shadga and Chandra Shadga in analysis of profession.
Om Shri Viragavaya Namaha. Pranams to Param Pujya Guruji, Shri NV Raghvachari Garu. Pranams to my father and my guru, Dr. NVRA Raja Garu. My humble greetings to all the dignitaries and astro enthusiasts who have tuned in to watch on this occasion. It is a very important occasion of second annual celebrations of JYSA, and I feel very privileged to be speaking on this occasion, and that too on a very relevant topic of professional elevation. This is the theme of the entire JYSA annual celebrations, and it is a very pertinent topic also, considering the impact of COVID recently, with many people losing jobs and so much stagnation happening, and now the market is beginning to pick up and the job places are slowly opening up, and there's a lot of hope that is coming in. But in general also, even without this situation, profession as such is a very important query, it's a very important aspect of anyone's life. And indeed, when any of the clients also come to you for queries, one of the most common queries which are posed are around professional elevation. Which profession will work out for me? When will I get a promotion? When will I get a transfer? When will I get a salary hike? There are many questions related to profession. Which profession is suited to you? So there are many directions in which questions come around profession. And on this occasion also we have many scholars here, many eminent astrologers who will be looking at this topic of profession in many angles. Today, on this occasion, even I will be talking about professional elevation, but in the context of Surya and Chandra Shadga. I'll be talking about professional elevation using Meena to Naadi principles. How do we judge professional elevation? How do we find out which profession is suitable for a particular person or a particular native? That we'll try to find out using Surya Shadga and Chandra Shadga method. The Surya and Chandra Shadga method is a very important method. The Surya Shadga and Chandra Shadga is a very important concept in Meena to Naadi Siddhantam. And a lot of importance has been placed by Param Pujya Guruji on this. And hence it's a very special topic to me today. And I feel very blessed that I'm talking about this Surya and Chandra Shadga. It's a very important concept. I am getting the chance to unravel it on this occasion. I feel very privileged about it. What is now meant by Chandra Shadga and Surya Shadga? In the zodiac, every planet, if you see, from Mars, Venus, Buddha, Mercury, Saturn, Jupiter, all of them have been given ownership of 2 houses. But Chandra and Surya, Moon and Sun, if we see, they have been given ownership of only 1 house each. Chandra owns Karkataka Rasi, Cancer. Sun, Surya owns Leo. Sun and Moon, Chandra and Surya are very important planets. They are luminaries. In the entire Navagraha, we consider them as planets, but Sun and Moon are indeed luminaries. They are very important in anybody's life. And such important planets, one might wonder have got ownership of only one house each. However, if we see Chandra and Surya, even though they own by themselves only one house each, they rule each of them, half of the zodiac, each of them rule. That is why Sun and Moon are very important planets. So anything above that line, that yellow line that you are seeing here in the zodiac, that above that yellow line is called the Chandra Shadka. Starting from that Cancer, Gemini, Taurus, Aries, Pisces, Kumbha, Aquarius, all of these houses are a part of Chandra Shadka. These 6 houses are a part of Chandra Shadka. That below the yellow line that you're seeing here, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, all of these houses starting from that Leo to Makara, Capricorn are a part of Surya Shadka. So the first half of the zodiac, Chandra Shadka, all of these houses are said to be ruled by Chandra. And below that yellow houses, that Surya Shadka, all of these houses are said to be ruled by Surya Sun. Now this concept of Chandra Shadka and Surya Shadka, there is a very interesting story behind this. When Dr. Raja, Parampuja Guruji's son, Junior Beena too, when he was around 11-12 years old, he used to watch Parampuja Guruji looking at astrology, doing a lot of research, and out of interest as a kid he had gone and asked, I want to learn astrology. Can you teach me? Then Parampuja Guruji has exactly drawn this diagram that you're seeing here, this zodiac, and he has said this upper part is Chandra Shadka, the lower part is called Surya Shadka, and that is all astrology is, that is what astrology is all about. And he stopped at that. And as a kid, that was the first instance that Dr. Raja had towards astrology, and that was all Parampuja Guruji has said. That you know Chandra Shadka, Surya Shadka, and that is astrology. And that is how important this concept is. In general, we see Sun and Moon are well placed in a horoscope. Then 50% life of that native is good, and they're able to handle any adversity, any obstacle that comes in their way. Right? And Sun and Moon are that important planets. And actually when you see through the lens of Chandra Shadka and Surya Shadka, half of that zodiac is owned by Chandra, the lower half of the zodiac is owned by Surya. And such is the power of Chandra and Surya. We will try to catch a small glimpse of how can we use Chandra Shadka and Surya Shadka in our predictions. What does it mean? So when we have many planets in Chandra Shadka, so we have all of those planets come under the influence of Moon, Chandra. We have many planets coming under Surya Shadka. Then those particular connected bhavas, those particular planets are largely influenced by Sun. And that is the lens by which we will see. Right? So today in the context of professional elevation, I have tried to bring out a small interlinkage of how can we apply Chandra Shadka and Surya Shadka in the context of professional elevation. This is the chart of Kumaramangalam Birla. All of us know such a great industrialist he is. He has a huge empire of businesses, large groups of businesses, large groups of institutes, educational institutions, and he is a very successful industrialist. Now, whenever we talk about professional elevation, right, I'll come to this analysis also. Whenever we talk about professional elevation, what is important is to know, to choose that line of profession which works for you, right? Which will work for you and which will be successful for you. And it's also to your liking, and then you succeed, which is why, many people come to you and saying, should I become a chartered accountant or a doctor or an engineer? Many questions come. So it's important to choose that line of profession which will give that elevation, right? So we will see two aspects of that in two charts today. The first chart we are seeing is of Mr. Kumaramangalam Birla. He is a very successful industrialist. So let us study that 10th bhava for this person, right? Which line suited him? How can we analyze this horoscope in terms of Chandra Shadga and Surya Shadga? Let us see. So if you see here in this horoscope, this is a Karkataka Lagna native. How we will apply is, for profession, the most important bhava we see is the 10th bhava. 10th bhava denotes profession. So now we will study that 10th bhava in relation with Chandra Shadga and Surya Shadga. A very small application only we'll see in this context. So if we see here, I have attempted to study the 10th bhava in terms of Chandra Shadga and Surya Shadga by studying the 10th star lord's position and the 10th Kalamsa lord's position. So in Minato Nakshatra Siddhantham, our main Mula Mantra, we always keep repeating, all our scholars, all our students, we always keep repeating this as a Mula Mantra. Planets posited in a sign may not deliver the result, but the star lord will deliver the result, either it's positive or a negative. So here also, when we are looking at the 10th bhava, from Meena to Nakshatra Siddhantham, I will be studying the star lord of the 10th bhava and the Kalamsa lord of the 10th bhava. Both are the concepts quite dear to Meena to Naadi Siddhantham. So the Kalamsa is again a pillar of Meena to Nakshatra Siddhantham, a division of a nakshatra into 9 parts. So essentially we are studying 249 parts, we are dividing the zodiac and studying, and that those many kalamsas we are trying to bring into study here, right? So look at for more minute details, for a better accuracy and more precision, I'll be looking at the bhava with the star lord and the Kalamsa lord. So we will be taking the bhava lord. Where is the star lord placed? Which Shadga is the star lord placed? Which Shadga is the Kalamsa lord placed? So if we look at Kumaramangalam Birla, a highly successful industrialist, a very highly successful industrialist here. And you see, we will look at the 10th bhava for this person. So here, 10th bhava, Karkataka Rasi, 10th bhava is Aries. So there is an occupant also there, Rahu. So we will be studying for the 10th lord and the occupant Rahu as to which Shadga they are in. So let us study the table given here for this chart. Let me look at the bhava. Let us study the 10th bhava. The 10th bhava in this case is Aries. 10th lord is Mars. Mars is in Chitta Nakshatra. So Mars star lord is Mars itself, and it is placed in Surya Shadga in Virgo. So the Shadga is Surya Shadga. We have mentioned that here. Now 10th lord Mars is also falling in the Kalamsa of Mars. So there also that Mars is again coming under Surya Shadga. Now let us look at the occupant of the 10th house, which is Rahu. Rahu is in Ashwini Nakshatra. So star lord becomes Ketu. Ketu, as you see here, is in Libra. So that is also in Surya Shadga. Now that occupant Rahu is falling in the Kalamsa of Saturn. So the Kalamsa lord becomes Saturn, and that Saturn is sitting in Pisces, Meena Rasi, and in Chandra Sharka. So if you see here, if I am looking at the 10th Lord, the 10th Star Lord, the 10th Kalamsa Lord, Occupants Star Lord and Occupants Kalamsa Lord, majority, 3 of them are in Surya Sharka. Right? Saturn is in Chandra Sharka, but majority planets are in Surya Sharka. So, what does that convey to us? So we are talking about Kumaramangalam Birla's unusual, extremely great, extraordinary success in business and many ventures that he has taken up. All of these are controlled, and the entire 10th bhava, the 10th bhava's main indicators are all falling in Surya Shadga here, and they have all come under the control of Sun. So where Sun is strong, Sun will determine how the profession is moving for this native. Because where Sun is strong, then the profession becomes strong. So let us look at the position of Sun. That Sun here is sitting in the Labhasthana, in the 11th house itself. And Sun is in a friendly nakshatra, Mrigashira nakshatra. So Sun is in the star of 10th Lord Mars. Sun gains nakshatra Digbala as well. And it is sitting in Labhasthana. That Sun has become extremely powerful. And it is sitting in the house of Venus in an earthy sign. So Kumaramangalam Birla has ventured into many businesses, has been able to accumulate and gain wealth also from there. So only when an earthy sign touches there, a person will be able to accumulate wealth. Fire will give you the passion to move. Airy will give you thinking, to think and expand and move forward. But if earthy, when you want to succeed materialistically, it's important that the earthy signs are placed well. Here Sun, a Rajasic planet with strong Digbala, is sitting in Labhasthana, which happens to be an earthy sign. And it has bought, and that Sun is in the star of Mars. And that Mars also, if you see here, 10th Lord Mars, is sitting in the 3rd house. It's sitting in the 3rd house. And that Mars is again with the Nakshatra Digbala in the star of 10th Lord Mars itself. So being in its own star, that Mars has also gained Nakshatra Digbala. So the Sun's star lord is also strong. Sun is also sitting in Labhasthana. So there, if you see, beautifully Sun is very well placed in this particular case. And Sun is the Karaka for name and fame, popularity, intellect, setting up of great educational institutions, right? Setting up of many businesses, which is many successful ventures. All of this, Sun is the Karaka, and Sun is the 2nd Lord also here in this particular Lagna, and sitting in an earthy sign, controlling majority of the planets, because majority of the 10th house related planets are sitting in Surya Shadga, and that Sun is very powerfully placed. So Kumaramangalam Birla, Mr. Kumaramangalam Birla has been a very successful entrepreneur, has been able to take up many ventures, businesses, has brought him name and fame with a lot of courage. Everywhere he's been able to move forward. So here, if you see, majority of the 10th bhava planets have come under Surya Shadga. Now let us look at another chart here. Right? I was just talking about choosing a line of profession that is important or that works for you. But sometimes, many times we see that the person has studied engineering but is sitting and doing a clerk job. Or the person has studied MBA and everything, but they leave all of it and they get into a different position itself. They've studied something and they've got into a different position and they have prospered and done well. Right? But you've studied something, but that line of profession did not work out and they shift and move. And that has given a professional elevation. So, we will be studying one such chart as an example here also, where the chosen profession did not work, but the native tried to align to a different profession, and he succeeded in it. So let us look at that chart here. This is a chart of a doctor turned interior designer. This native was an he completed his MBBS. He was practicing as a doctor, but did not work out well for him, and he completely changed tack and moved to become an interior designer. So let us look at this horoscope, a quick glimpse at this horoscope here to see why this shift happened and how this shift has helped the native. The native is doing very well as an interior designer and originally started off as a doctor. It didn't work out, and then hence he had to move to become an interior designer. How did this work out? Let us study this chart very quickly. So as I said, we will be studying this chart in the context of Chandra and Surya Shadga. We will again be studying the 10th bhava as we are talking about profession here. 10th star lord and 10th kalamsa lord are falling in which Shadga, and how will we take it forward from there? Something that we will try to see here. So if we see here, we will be studying the 10th bhava. There is an occupant sun also sitting in the 10th house. So at the outset, if we see, 10th lord is Buddha, Mercury. Buddha is sitting in Rohini Nakshatra, in the Nakshatra of Moon. So star lord is Moon. Moon is sitting in Taurus in Chandra Shadga. Again 10th lord Buddha, Mercury, is in the Kalamsa of Jupiter, and Jupiter is again, if you see, sitting in Taurus in Chandra Shadga. Now let us look at occupant sun. Occupant sun is in Mrigashira Nakshatra. Star lord is Mars. Mars is again in Aries in Chandra Shadga. Again let us look at the Kalamsa. Sun is falling in the Kalamsa of Buddha. That Buddha is sitting in Taurus in Chandra Shadga again. Right? So if you see here, the main planets linked to 10th house of profession are all falling in Chandra Shadga. Actually, if we see, in general, if we see this horoscope, if you are analyzing this, if you see the 10th house is occupied by Sun. Since Sun is sitting in the 10th house itself, Sun is very powerful with the Digbala. Right? So this person was able to take up medicine as a profession and excel well in that. He was able to take up and excel well as medicine. Taking medicine as profession, he was able to excel well, beautifully in that. However, he was not able to succeed as a doctor. If we see here, because that sun was powerful, it gave that fire to go take up medicine, and sun is in Mars Nakshatra. Right? So what happened, and Mars is also very strongly placed in its own house. So he was able to take up medicine as an education and was able to complete and become, it's not very easy to complete your MBBS and pursue that and practice as a doctor even for a while. That sun being strong helped the native do it. But here that sun, even though powerful with Digbala, is positioned in the star of Mars. It's positioned in Mrigashira Nakshatra, and Mars for this Lagna, for this native, is the 8th lord. And that 8th lord Mars is powerful again, being positioned in its own house as well. So what has happened in this case is, he started off that sun being powerfully sitting in that profession house, gave that profession, made him complete medicine and practice as a doctor, but it created difficulties in practice as a profession. That sun made him take up that as a medicine, as a knowledge, and as education it made him pursue. But as profession, it caused a lot of difficulties because that sun sitting in 10th house came in a strong, powerful 8th Lord Mars' Nakshatra. So he was not able to pick up that well. But however, he still did not struggle in his profession. He succeeded when he changed his line of profession. He studied medicine, but he moved to interior designing. So if you see why that happened, most of the 10th Bhava planets are all falling in Chandra Shadka. They are all falling under the influence of Chandra. And let us study the position of Chandra in this chart here. The Chandra moon is exalted. And also in own nakshatra. There are different grades of exaltation. That moon is exalted, but that moon is also in its own nakshatra. Rohini nakshatra, that moon is exalted. Chandra, and Chandra is also the Labhasthanadipati for this native. And the Chandra is sitting in the house of Venus, right, along with Mercury and Jupiter. And moon is sitting in an earthy sign very powerfully, beautifully, with exaltation in that house. Amongst moon, Buddha and Jupiter, moon is the most powerful in that group of 3 planets because it is also exalted plus in its own nakshatra. Their moon is powerful and it is also sitting along with 4th Lord Jupiter, Guru. And it is also gaining Nakshatra Dikbala. At that particular point, if you say in that junction, the Chandra Shadga is controlling completely that 10th house. And that moon is very powerfully placed, sitting in the 9th house for this native. In a Yoga Karaka house for this native. In the house of Venus. Along with Mercury, along with Jupiter. Jupiter is Dhanakaraka. And moon is sitting in an earthy sign. In Venus, Venus is interior designing and aesthetic sense. Is Venus's house. Along with Buddha. Buddha is the Karaka for creativity. Buddha is the main Karaka for creativity. And Dhanakaraka, Jupiter is also there along with moon, and moon is dominating both these 2 planets also, being exalted. So when this person changed his line towards the orientation of moon, towards interior design, their moon gave a lot of success. So even though the 10th occupant sun is there, is in 8th, strong 8th nakshatra, but that doctor, medicine as a profession, this native could not take up. But when Chandra Shadga, when we are seeing, most of these 10th Bhava planets are controlled by Chandra, and that Chandra is sitting beautifully, comfortably along with Mercury and Jupiter, those planets there. And that Karaka, Dhanakaraka activated in an earthy sign, further wealth is coming in Venus's house. So all that aesthetic sense, that creativity, everything came in abundance for this native, and he clicked very well as an interior designer. It's such a beautiful observation we can make from this chart itself, if you've all seen. When we are analyzing the bhava itself, if you are seeing how that sun and moon, being in Surya Shadga in the first case in chart 1, and that Surya was well placed, and all the 10th Karakas were coming under the influence of Surya, and Surya boosted that native. Here, most of the 10th Bhava planets you see here, all of them are coming under Chandra Shadga, and Chandra, being beautifully well placed, made him change that line according to Chandra's connections, and it clicked well for him. Here itself we can understand the beauty of concept that Param Puja Guruji seeded at that time, saying that Chandra Shadga and Surya Shadga are such beautifully important concepts, and how very easily it is helping us analyze how the results of a bhava can be interpreted based on these positions of moon and sun. So that is why it's not for any simple reason or ordinary reason they say that sun and moon, they are the 2 eyes, right? They're the 2 luminaries. They are very important in a horoscope. And even though they control in the zodiac only one house each, but this Chandra Shadga, they have a control over that reach of that 6 houses each for them. So if Sun and Moon are well placed, then based on that position of which Shadga, that Bhava, most of the Bhava connections are falling in which Shadga, the Star Lord, Kalamsa Lord are falling in which Shadga, based on that, whether it's in Chandra Shadga or Surya Shadga, we can try to find out how that Bhava will flourish, which direction. So with 10th Bhava today we have seen which direction, which profession will help that native. It's a very interesting concept. With Param Puja Guruji's blessings, I'm also working on bringing out a book with simple interpretations of Chandra and Surya Shadga. I'm just wishing for Param Puja Guruji's blessings to bring that out in a book format quite very soon. I'm already working on it. But today, I feel really very happy that I've been able to give you a glimpse of this and be able to seed that little thoughts of how we can interpret Bhava results using this Chandra and Surya Shadga. With this, I hope it's been a very valuable learning session for you. And I also hope you'll be taking away a lot of learnings and insights from many more sessions to come today and tomorrow as well. I wish all of you all the best, and may Almighty's blessings be there with all of you. Jai Meenatu.
Thank you, Professor Satyasri, for the excellent insight. The next presentation is on the importance of second house in profession. Dr. Prasad H.N. Shastri hails from Bengaluru, an IT professional with over 27 years experience in the industry. He has a master's degree, MSc in Management Information Systems. He was awarded Ph.D. from Yoga Samskrutham University in the year 2016. He is a disciple of Dr. Prabhakar Kashyap and has been associated with the Scope Institute of Astrology, Bengaluru as a senior faculty for the last 17 years. He is professor and head of the department Vedanga Jyothisa in Yoga Samskrutham University. Over to Dr. Prasad.
Harihi Om Ganana Antva Ganapatigam Bhavamahe Kavim Kavinabuphamashravasthamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspada Anaschanmannodhivesse Dasadhanam Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. A warm welcome to this astrological session. First and foremost, my sincere and deepest gratitude to Dr. NVRA Raja for giving this opportunity to present in this astrological series, and congratulations to JYSA on your second year anniversary celebrations. And again, my sincere thanks to all of you people. You guys are doing a great job. So let me introduce myself. My name is Prasad Nagaraj Shastri. I've been associated with Vedic astrology for over 17 years now. I've been learning, teaching, and been part of various workshops across India. And I'm a professor and HOD of Vedanga Jyotisha  and a senior faculty member at Scope. without much ado, let me jump right into the subject. So, when we talk about profession, right, the first or the only, for many times, the only bhava that comes into mind for analysis is the 10th bhava. Some astrologers also look at the 6th bhava being the service bhava, and very few people look at the 2nd bhava. I'm here to talk about the importance of 2nd bhava or the dhana bhava in profession. Why is it so important? What really kind of drives the thought process behind considering the 2nd bhava as an important bhava when it comes to determining the profession and the earnings from the profession. So profession or the karma bhava. So this is predominantly what really is an important factor for most of the people, right? What kind of a career that the person is, what is the nature of work that the person does, right? Now, as I said before, right, many times we just look at the 10th bhava, some of them 6th bhava a few times as well. Now, the importance of focusing on 2nd bhava, right? When we look at the purusharthas, right? When we look at the objectives or the purpose of the human being, right? We talk about the 4 purusharthas: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Now, in each of these purusharthas, there are 3 parts, right? You have the first bhava, which is the dharma bhava, the 2nd bhava, which is the artha bhava, and the 3rd bhava is kama bhava, and 4th bhava is the moksha bhava. So this I call as the start or the beginning of that trikona, right? For example, 1 is the start of dharma trikona, 5 is the tree, right? This is where the growth, this is where the action of that purushartha takes place, and 9th bhava, which is again part of the dharma trikona, is the fruit or the result or the outcome of the actions and the seed, which is bhavas 5 and 1. So 9 is where you see the outcome or the result. Likewise, when you look at the 10th bhava is the outcome, but the seed is the 2nd bhava, right? So 10th is part of the artha trikona, and so is 2 and 6, and therefore it makes that sense, that much more sense to look at all 3 bhavas in kind of a congruent way, right? We'll talk about that a little bit. Now, when you focus on the 2nd bhava, the 2nd bhava is a sanchita bhava or the purva punya bhava for the 10th bhava. If you count the houses from 10th bhava, 2nd is the 5th house from 10th bhava. As I said, it is the sanchita bhava for karma bhava. All right. Again, the question that may come up is why focus on 2nd bhava? What is so important, right? 2nd bhava talks about self-earnings, right? This is the ability of the native to earn, right, or create wealth. So this is indicated by the 2nd bhava. So what we have learned throughout, right from our childhood days, probably till now, is good education results in good job, right? Most of the times, it may be true, but there are many cases where well-educated people are not properly employed. They do not have a consistent job or a good career, right? Whereas, on the contrary, you would have seen that there are many people who do not have a college degree. They have or either an incomplete college degree, but they are in excellent jobs. They have wonderful careers, successful careers. So a simple Google search, the link for which I have pasted there in the presentation, talks about many such examples. This is about 15 successful people or most popular successful people. But I myself am aware of many such people who do not have a college degree but are doing exceedingly well in their profession, in their career, right? So education does not necessarily mean that a good education, good college degree does not necessarily mean a good job, right? So that's where it's important to look at the earning ability, right? No matter what the education or the background of that person is, right? Now let's look at some of the important Karakatvas of the second bhava that we need to kind of consider when it comes to or in relation to profession or career of a person. Of course, the second bhava is the education. We call it as a basic education, or the education that one receives at home, right? So it could be the homely environment, the education from your siblings, the parents, the people at home. That's what we basically talk about when we talk about education and the second bhava. Of course, we talked about wealth, creation of wealth and resources. Of course, second bhava is a very important bhava for speech, right? This is the ability to communicate. This is imperative. This is very important when it comes to whatever kind of job that you are in. You need to have good communication. So your ability to speak well is again a part of the second bhava, or a karakatva of the second bhava. We talked about resources, income, how you are able to generate money or income is also looked at from the second bhava. And of course, it is family, the natives, kind of close family. All right. So when we look at any bhava analysis, the first thing that we look at when we look at a horoscope is the lagna bhava. What is the strength of the lagna bhava? What is the potential for the native to enjoy the fruits that are indicated by the grahas in the horoscope, right? So it's very important for us to look at lagna bhava, the strength of the lagna, to determine the overall results of the horoscope, right? Now, of course, the bhava in question here, we are focusing on the second bhava, and so the second bhava would be the house in question. The bhavadipati, depending upon where the second bhava position is, or where the second bhava is, the bhavadipati is determined, and the karaka. So when we talk about wealth, we talk about obviously Guru, he represents wealth, Dhanakaraka, Guru. And when we talk about the Karaka is the initiator or the executor of that bhava, right, or that function of that bhava. And of course, we look at the avasthas of the planet, or the planets that are part of the second bhava, the bhavadipati as well. And if there are any yogas, so this in particular being the dhana bhava, we either look at whether there is a strong dhana yoga or a daridra yoga. We talk about that in a little bit. And of course, when you are arriving at the results of that bhava, you would look at the current dasha bhakti, antara, DBA, and the gochara, right? In terms of what are the transit planets and what are the indications, how are they supportive to the natives, creation of wealth process, right? So these are some of the important aspects that you would look at when it comes to the analysis of the chart. Now, before we actually jump into the analysis, we would also look at some of the Rashi Karakatvas, right? Or in the process of analysis, you would look at some of the Rashi Karakatvas. I am not going to talk about a whole lot of Karakatvas. We predominantly would look at the Swabhava, Tattva and Guna of the Rashi, right? For example, when we talk about the Swabhava, if many grahas are in Chara Rashi, right, there is no stability to job, right? I mean, why am I talking again about 10th bhava? Because 10th and 2 are kind of linked. 10, 2 and 6 are kind of linked, and that's why I'm talking about when it comes to the supporting factors, when there are too many planets or grahas in Chara Rashi, there is no stability, or it does not indicate stable job. There would be frequent job changes to the native, right? Again, Sthira Rashis kind of represents stability, consistent job, long periods of time in a particular job, right? And Dviswabhava Rashi is a mixed thing. It could also indicate multiple avenues of earning, right? Different sources of income or multiple streams of income, as I can call it, is indicated by too many grahas in Dviswabhava Rashi. Now, Tattva, the element that the graha is in, is also a very important factor, and the bhava also represents a particular element, right? Fiery element represents action energy, right? And the earthy element talks about or represents the sustaining energy. It also talks about collecting resources, collecting money, right? The airy tattva or element talks about creative energy. These are highly thinkers, planners, and talks about creative energy, right? And the watery element tattva represents the accommodative energy, and this is more to do with the service, empathy, and kind of understanding kind of job roles or careers, right? This is what the various tattvas represent. Now the guna of the rashis also represent what kind of job that the native would likely be in, right? Satvika rashis represent white collar jobs, right? These are good jobs, right? And Rajasika rashis represent executive roles, CEOs and managerial and higher executives and senior management kind of roles, right? And again, Tamasika rashis represent blue collar jobs. This is more to do with the labor class, the masses, the higher population in any organization, right? And it's quite imperative, right? When we look at these things, we need to look at all three bhavas, the second bhava, sixth bhava, 10th bhava, in a very congruent way. But then again, second bhava more or less determines or drives what kind of wealth creation, what self earnings, as I said before, that the native is likely to achieve or succeed in. Okay, now let us look at a chart analysis, right? And this chart, this is a native born in the year 1971, and you can see that the lagna is Kataka Lagna, Karka Rashi, right? And the lagna point is at 9 degrees 23 minutes, which is Pushmi Nakshatra, right? And Lagnadipati Chandra is also located or posited in the lagna itself, right? So this makes it quite strong. Lagnadipati or the bhavadipati in the bhava protects the bhava. That's what we've learned, and so that way it is indicating some sort of strength for the lagna. Of course, there's just not one parameter that would decide it, but overall looks pretty okay, right? Now, of course, we are looking at the analysis of the dhanabhava here, which we will look into in a bit, right? Let's look at the chart again, right? So this is Kataka Lagna, right? Lagna point is at 9 degrees 23 minutes, Pushmi Nakshatra. Pushmi star lord Saturn is posited in the Bhadaka Sthana, so he is the 7th Maraka and 8th Dusthanadipati. So 7th, 8th Lord posited in the Badakasthana in Rohini Nakshatra. Like he's the Lagnadipati Nakshatra. And if you look at the Lagnadipati Chandra, Lagnadipati is also posited in the Lagna itself, which is quite good. Bhavadipati in Bhava is good, right? He is also the most dominant planet in the chart. So that way he is quite strong. Again, if you look at it, he is in Pushmi Nakshatra, as I said, and Shani is in Rohini Nakshatra. So there is a Nakshatra Parivartana between Saturn and Moon, Shani Chandra, but not necessarily a good Parivartana, basically because of the association that Saturn has with respect to this Lagna, right? Now, you see that the native was born on Shukla Pratipad. So that means to say he was born on a Amavasya day or right after Amavasya day. If you look at the planetary combinations here, you can clearly see that, there was an eclipse on Amavasya, which happens to be Surya Grahana or solar eclipse, right? Now the sun here is the second lord. He is the Dhana Bhavadipati, and that's a Bhava that we are kind of looking at, right? He is also posited in Pushmi Nakshatra, and there is quite a bit, he is in the Lagna Bhava, of course, and there are quite a few influences to this Lagna. If you look at this, Kujarahu combination in itself is not good, is aspecting the Lagna. Saturn is aspecting the Lagna from the Badakasthana, and from the 5th Bhava, Sanchita, right? You have the 6th and 9th Lord Jupiter aspecting the Lagna. So Lagna, so this apparently gives some sort of protection to the native, right? And the Bhava in question, right? We are looking at 2nd Bhava. So Mercury or Buddha, who is the 3rd and 12th Lord for this Lagna, is posited in the 2nd Bhava in Makha Nakshatra, Ketu's Nakshatra, and Ketu is posited in the Lagna Bhava. So there is connection between the 1st and 2nd Bhava. Of course, this is the Markasthana as well, right? Now the Adipati, Surya, posted in 6 degrees 6 minutes, right? This is right on the Mrutyu Bhaga of Kataka Rashi. So 6 degrees is the Mrutyu Bhaga for Sun in Kataka Rashi. So again, the second lord has not so friendly planet for this Lagna, and the second lord is in the Mrutyu Bhaga. Again, it is Surya Grahana, so he is kind of eclipsed by Rahu Ketu here, right? So the nodal axis is on the 1st and 7th Bhava, so both these Bhavas have some sort of trouble or turbulence in this chart, right? Now again, looking at the Dasha Bhakti, so till 2019 the native was running Venus Mahadasha, 4th and 11th Lord, though Badakadipati, quite okay, natural benefic, being posited in the 12th house, quite okay. And so right after the Sun Mahadasha, native started seeing some serious problems in his profession, right, and his ability to earn. Eventually, the native came out of active employment in the early 2020 time frame, right during this Sun Moon, both being participants in the eclipse, right? So all in all, here, because of the connection, because of the dasha of the second lord being so, this kind of set back the native on the professional front. So again, if you look at the 10th lord, there are other combinations as well, right? So the 10th lord, the 5th and 10th lord, Mars, Kuja, is in exaltation sign, almost very close to his exaltation point. But when you look at the avastha of Mars, Kuja, he is retrograde, he is Vakri, right? And he is a Chara, this is a Chara Rashi, he is also posited in Chara Rashi, right? So this also indicates the variations in the native's profession, right? The native had multiple changes in jobs, right? Could not stick on to one particular place for a long time, right? You would have seen many people, right? So they would start their careers in a particular office or an employment in a particular place and probably end up retiring there as well, but not so in the case of this native, right? So all in all, the importance of Dhanabhava and Dhanabhavadipati, and again Karaka, Jupiter is also a Vakri and has the aspect of Saturn, right? So all these combinations is indicating setbacks to the native in terms of self-earnings, alright? So let's move on to the next chart real quick. Okay, now let's look at example number 2. Like in the previous case, this chart is also of Katak Lagna. Lagna point is at 13 degrees 04 minutes. Again, Pushami Nakshatra. And the planetary positions are Shukra, Kuja and Budha in the second bhava, Shani in the fourth bhava, and you have Jupiter Ketu in the fifth bhava, and of course Lagnadipati is in the 11th bhava, Badakasthana, and you also have Rahu there in the Badakasthana. Now let's look at the chart again. Now the Lagna point is in Pushami Nakshatra as discussed before, 7th and 8th Lord. But look at the position of Saturn or Shani in this chart, right? He is in his exaltation sign, right? Which is quite good, and he is aspecting the Lagna. So you can say that, you know, there is some amount of challenges and obstacles for the native, and again, you know, slow progress. You know, the progress is definitely there, but slow progress, because Lagnadipati is in Labha Bhava, right? Do Badakasthana. He is in Yoga Karaka Nakshatra, Kuja Nakshatra, and he happens to be the single Yoga Karaka for this Lagna. And Kuja's position is also quite well, right? You know, he's also quite well placed. A fiery planet in a fiery Rashi, in a friendly sign. So all in all, quite good placement, except for the fact that, you know, the Lagnadipati as well as Jupiter is in Rahu Ketu axis, not all that good, right? But there is also blessing or grace because Guru is aspecting the Lagna. So not really a very bad kind of a situation. So this native had some difficulties, could not complete the college, formal college degree and education for that matter, but is quite well placed in a quite a kind of an executive position in a very good company. Always had good you know, kind of progression in the job, is quite well placed in his career, right? Now if you look at the Dhanabhava, the Dhanabhava has a combination of Shukra, who happens to be the fourth and 11th Lord, right, in Dhanabhava, natural benefic, right, and also has the 5th and 10th Lord combination in Dhanabhava. We already discussed about Kuja, and the 3rd and 12th Lord Buddha in the second bhava, Dhanabhava. Buddha in a fiery Rashi again is quite good. So two planets here in a fiery Rashi is quite good combination. And again, the Dhanadipati is in an Upachaya, 3rd bhava. So Sun position in the 3rd bhava is quite well as well, right? So all in all, good combination and good promise of wealth creation for this native. So we've seen in these two charts the importance of Dhanabhava and how the Dhanabhava, Dhanakaraka, and the Dhanabhavadipati is contributing to creation of self-earning or wealth for the native, right? All in all, Um, good combinations, good dhana bhava, good dhana yoga contributes to good wealth creation for the native, right? So with that, I now thank one and all for your patient viewing of this presentation, and wish you all the best with the other presentations. I also thank my spiritual guru and astrology guru, Dr. Prabhakar K. Kashyap, for his unflinching support and guidance. May the Divine Mother shower her blessings on all of us. Thank you all very much. Good day.
Thank you very much, sir, for the superb presentation. Our next presentation is on Panchanga and profession. Sri G.D. Dayal hails from New Delhi. He has done his Jyotish Alankar from Bharati Vidya Bhavan, New Delhi, Post Visharad from ICAS, and MA Vedanga Jyotisha from Yoga Samskrutham University. With more than a decade of experience in astrology, he is the co-founder of Shivagange Astro Research Institute at Delhi. Over to Sri G.D. Dayal.
जय श्री गणेश, जय माँ गंगे, जय मीना टू, जय गुरुदेव राघवाचार्य। आज का मेरा विषय है पंचांग एंड प्रोफेशन। पंचांग कुंडली का वह पहला पन्ना है जिसपे आपकी जन्म तारीख के साथ साथ आपका जन्मवार, हिंदी की मासिक तिथि, आपका जन्म नक्षत्र, करण और योग लिखा होता है। इन 5 अंक को मिलाकर पंचांग बनता है। इसकी कुंडली विश्लेषण में विशेष भूमिका होती है। यह वह नींव है जिसके आधार पर आगे चलकर बिल्डिंग तैयार होती है विश्लेषण की। यदि पंचांग मजबूत है तो बिल्डिंग मजबूत, यानी इसी पंचांग के आधार पर हमें संकेत मिलने प्रारंभ हो जाते हैं कि जातक का व्यक्तित्व कैसा होगा, उसका करियर, उसका व्यवसाय किस प्रकार का रहेगा, उसका रुझान कैसा रहेगा, उसमें उसके जीवन में कितने उतार चढ़ाव आने, उसका जीवन कितना सुगम अथवा संघर्षशील रहने वाला है। आज का मेरा टॉपिक भी यही है, पंचांग और व्यवसाय। हम पंचांग से व्यवसाय का अंदाजा लगाएंगे, पंचांग से मिलने वाले संकेत को समझेंगे और उसी के आधार पर जातक का व्यवसाय चुनने में उसकी मदद करेंगे। विषय पे आने से पहले सबसे पहले मैं गुरुदेव NVRA राजा सर का दिल से धन्यवाद करता हूं जिन्होंने मुझे यह अवसर प्रदान किया। मेरा ये छोटा सा प्रयास है और आप सभी से निवेदन है कि आप भी इसे जांचें और कोई कमी वैसी अथवा सुझाव हो तो अवश्य बताइएगा। मैं सदैव आपका आभारी रहूंगा। विषय पे आते हैं, पंचांग यानी वार, नक्षत्र, तिथि, करण और योग। आपका जन्मवार का अधिपति कुंडली में कहाँ स्थित है, यानी वो केंद्र में बैठा है, वो त्रिकोण में है, वह शुभ ग्रह की संगत में है अथवा 6, 8, 12 भाव भावेश वह अशुभ ग्रहों से पीड़ित है। सबसे पहले यह वारपति ही अपनी स्थिति से हमें बता देता है कि कुंडली किस ओर जाने वाली है। फिर अगली भूमि का जन्म तिथि और उसके देवता और करण, योग, नक्षत्र सबकी भूमिका के अध्ययन से काफी हद तक ये तय हो जाता है कि जातक का व्यवहार यानी नेचर, उसका व्यवसाय, उसके जीवन के उतार चढ़ाव, यानी जीवन वो अच्छे से जीने के लिए आया है, आनंद लेने आया अथवा जीवन काटने आया है। कुछ एग्जाम्पल से हम इसे समझने की कोशिश करते हैं। ये कुंडली आपके सामने है। इसका पंचांग आप देखिए, वार सोमवार है, तिथि चतुर्दशी कृष्ण पक्ष की, नक्षत्र श्रवण है, योग वारियान है और करण शकुनी है। सबसे पहले हम वार को देखते हैं, वार सोमवार और इसके अधिपति चंद्रमा। तो चंद्रमा लगन में स्थित है सप्तमेश होकर के, राहु केतु एक्सिस में है और षष्ठेश बुध के साथ, मरकरी के साथ युति किए हुए हैं। कोई भी शुभ दृष्टि भी नहीं है। तो पहला संकेत हमें यहां से मिल गया कि स्थिति वारपति की क्या है कुंडली में। अब आ जाते हैं तिथि पे। तिथि चतुर्दशी, इसके स्वामी देवता है महादेव शिव। कृष्ण पक्ष की चतुर्दशी को जो व्यक्ति जन्म लेते हैं, जो जातक इस तिथि को जन्म लेकर धरती पर आते हैं, तो उनके बारे में ऐसा कहा जाता है कि वो बाहर से शांत दिखते हैं परंतु अंदर से दुखी और परेशान होते हैं, क्योंकि ये तिथि जो है उग्र और उत्तेजना देने वाली है। अनायास ही अचानक ही इन्हें गुस्सा आ जाता है और यही इनके परेशान होने की वजह भी होती है। यदि ये महीने में एक बार मौन व्रत रख लें तो बहुत लाभ होगा। इनके अंदर इंट्यूशन पावर बहुत होती है, तो वो इंट्यूशन पावर यदि महीने में एक बार मौन व्रत रख लें तो और ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगी और इन्हें अपने क्षेत्र में उससे लाभ होगा। अच्छा, नक्षत्र देखते हैं फिर आगे। नक्षत्र है श्रवण। श्रवण के देवता है विष्णु। 3 तारों से बनने वाली आकृति को भगवान विष्णु के 52 अवतार के 3 पक्ष से समझा गया है। सुनना और अपने लक्ष्य को पाना, सुनना और अपने लक्ष्य को पाने के लिए बेताब रहना इनकी विशेषता है। ऐसा माना जाता है कि अच्छा वक्ता बनने के लिए अच्छा श्रोता होना आवश्यक है। वो क्वालिटी इनके अंदर होती है। तो ये अच्छे अध्यापक हो सकते हैं, अच्छे वक्ता हो सकते हैं, अच्छे लेखक हो सकते हैं, एक्टिंग में, एडवाइजर या कंसल्टेंसी में बहुत अच्छे से ये कामयाब हो सकते हैं। आगे चलते हैं। योग है वारियान। वारियान का मतलब ही श्रेष्ठ होता है, मतलब अपने फील्ड में श्रेष्ठ, वेलकम करने योग्य, सुपर्ब। ये अपने क्षेत्र में श्रेष्ठ होते हैं, अपनी उपस्थिति का एहसास कराते हैं। जब भी जहां जिस महफिल में जिस क्षेत्र में जाएंगे तो लोगों को पता चल जाएगा फलां व्यक्ति है, आया है या है इस क्षेत्र में। आगे करण। करण है शकुनी। तो शकुनी ये पहला स्थिर करण है जिसका प्रतीक चिन्ह चिड़िया होता है। तो इनमें पंछी की तरह थोड़ी फड़फड़ाहट होती है आगे बढ़ने की। इनको थोड़ा सा भी अगर पुश कर दिया जाए, मौका दे दिया जाए, तो ये धमाल मचा सकते हैं। ये मतलब बहुत अच्छा करके दिखा सकते हैं अपने क्षेत्र में, यदि इनको थोड़ा सा सपोर्ट कर दिया जाए। इन्हें ज्योतिष के क्षेत्र में अच्छी सफलता, नेम एंड फेम मिल सकता है। मौसम का पूर्वानुमान लगाने में इनकी दक्षता होती है, क्योंकि इनकी इंट्यूशन पावर बहुत अच्छी होती है। तो इन्हें ज्योतिष से के क्षेत्र में या टैरट कार्ड इत्यादि में बड़ा अच्छा नेम फेम मिल सकता है। तो कहने का मतलब ये है कि एस्ट्रोलॉजर, टैरट कार्ड, टीचर या कोई एडवाइजर, कंसल्टेंट, इनका करियर हो सकता है और ये उसमें बहुत अच्छे साबित हो सकते हैं। ये जो कुंडली जिसका हम कर रहे हैं ये बहुत अच्छे एस्ट्रोलॉजर है और अपने क्षेत्र में अच्छा नाम भी है और बहुत अच्छे ज्ञानी भी हैं, अच्छी नॉलेज रखते हैं। अगले एग्जाम्पल पर चलते हैं। ये इसका पंचांग इस प्रकार है। वार है गुरुवार, वारपति जुपिटर वो सप्तमेश और दशमेश होकर धन भाव में उच्च अवस्था में बैठे हैं, उच्च अवस्था में स्थित है धन भाव में, किंतु राहु केतु एक्सिस है और सैटर्न की सीधी दृष्टि है। अष्टम भाव में बैठे शनिदेव, शनि भगवान की इन पर दृष्टि है और कोई अन्य दृष्टि दिखाई नहीं देती। ठीक है, आगे चलते हैं। तिथि है एकादश शुक्ल पक्ष की और एकादश तिथि के जो देवता हैं, भगवान हैं, वो हैं विश्वदेवा। विश्वदेवा जो भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने महाभारत में अर्जुन को जो रूप दिखाया था, वो रूप विश्वदेवा होता है। तो ये व्यक्ति अच्छे कानून के जानकार हो सकते हैं, कानून के रक्षक हो सकते हैं, नियम कानून में इनका विश्वास हो सकता है। और नक्षत्र इनका अश्वनी, अश्वनी कुमार, अश्वनी कुमार गॉड ऑफ हेल्थ एंड मेडिसिन इनको कहा गया है। और योग है शिव, शिव का मतलब ही कल्याण, शिव का अर्थ होता है कल्याण, दूसरों का भला करने वाले। इनके देवता सूर्य देव भी जीवन दाता हैं, जीवन रक्षक हैं। अब आते हैं करण पे। करण गर, गर करण, गर यानी जहर। जहर सभी दवाइयों में और केमिकल्स में काम आता है, रंग पेंट इत्यादि, खाद, फर्टिलाइजर, सभी प्रकार के केमिकल। तो मेडिकल के क्षेत्र में इनको अवश्य सफलता मिल सकती है। भगवान ने इन्हें इसी क्षेत्र के लिए चुना है। पंचांग से प्रोफेशन का ये मेरा छोटा सा प्रयास है। उम्मीद है कि मुझसे कुछ गलती हो तो उसे आप क्षमा करेंगे और मुझे कहीं गलत हो तो मुझे सुझाव देंगे। धन्यवाद। सही।
Thank you very much, sir, for the interesting presentation. We hope you have enjoyed today's program as usual, with a request to like, share, comment and subscribe. We now bid you goodbye for today with a promise to return tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock with many more interesting thought-provoking presentations by none other than Dr. B.V.K. Shastri Garu, Chancellor JYSA, Dr. Prabhakar Kashyap, CEO JYSA, Professor Raja himself, Professor R. Vijayalakshmi, Director, and Professor C. SAMSKRUTHAM. Do join us with your friends and fraternity. Thank you. Stay blessed. Shubh Ratri.